hosted by Brandy Pet.
Welcome. Hey, everybody. It's me, Brandy P. from the Yes, I Am the Veteran podcast. I hope everybody's doing well. I know I have been absent for some time, but I assure you I am still here. But we do have an amazing guest today. I want to bring her on now. She has a lot of amazing information for the veteran community, especially the veterans here in Texas. So we wanted to go ahead and bring her on now, Miss Nicki Pauley. Are you doing, sis?
Yes, I am. I can hear you fine. Thank you.
And so, sis, can you maybe introduce yourself to everybody that maybe don't know you? What branch you're in? What do you do?
Absolutely. Nicole Pauley, I go by Nicki. I was active Air Force for 10 years. I am currently residing in Texas. I've been here for 20 years, and I am active in my veteran community and a 100% disabled veteran.
That's amazing, sis. And so what do you do now?
So right now I'm a real estate agent. I was a jack of all trades for about 25 years, post-military, and I kind of found that I like working for myself, and I enjoy my commitment to service is still there. So I enjoy finding people their forever home or helping them sell a home so they can get wherever they need to be. I do focus with military veterans and the like, spouses, etc., in finding their homes.
That's actually, it's so needed. And honestly, as a veteran, like helping other veterans, you know better than most people do what issues that we do have. And we very much appreciate your wealth of knowledge that you do have. I know every time we speak, you teach me something new.
Well, I appreciate that. That's my goal, is to spread as much information as possible. I found in the past that for some reason people think that hoarding information is the best way to have power. And I found that information shared is what's power. So as much as I know, I'm going to share with everybody I can.
And that's why I'm so happy to have you on today. You have so much amazing information to share. And so I definitely wanted to start getting into it now.
Okay.
So what did you want to talk to us about today? What kind of benefits are we looking at?
All right. So today we're going to look at anything that is state funded or state authorized benefits, anything the state charges for property taxes, tolls, parking fees, hunting, fishing license, etc., and what you get as a veteran and as a disabled veteran. So there are specific caveats. Most of what I'm going to be covering today is folks for disabled veterans that are over anywhere from 10 to 30% and all the way up to 100%. Not all of this is specific to all veterans. However, the website that you see scrolling at the bottom, that has veterans benefits by state. It's a directory of how to find veterans benefits, not just disabled, but all veterans benefits in any state. So one of the things I'm going to start with is, I know everybody assumes they think they know everything about the property taxes when you're buying a home as a veteran. And one of the things I find is that nobody really knows how, where the thresholds are for every percentage and every value that you get taken off your property taxes, as well as your exemptions. So in the state of Texas, go ahead.
I know us, and so for our listeners that aren't in Texas, she's specifically talking about how your percentage would relate to your property tax. So that's what we're going to be discussing now. I just wanted to make it clear. And other states do it as well. But Nicki is breaking it down for us for the state of Texas.
Yes, and if you want me back to talk other states, I will. I've actually done this for Nevada, Colorado, Arizona, Minnesota, and Florida.
Sweet.
And Tennessee. So there are several other states that we can do this for too. I'm partial to Texas. It's where I live. And if I want to know more about anything, I do the research and then I spread the information. So what we're going to focus on, like I said, is currently I'm going to look at property taxes and the breakdown of property taxes. So when you buy your home in the state of Texas and you register for your homestead exemption, you are allowing for a specific amount of exemption off. I'm not going to cover that today, but a specific amount of money covered off your assessment, your market value assessment. The disabled veterans tax exemption is in addition to that. So if you are anywhere from 10 to 90% disabled veteran, then you will have anywhere from a $5,000 to a $12,000 exemption off of the value of your home. That goes in increments. 10 to 29 is 5,000. 30 to 49 is 7,500, and 50 to 69 is 10,000. And it says on the website 70 to 100. is 12,000, but it's not actually accurate. It's 70 to 99. We all know that our percentages roll up at a 10% increment. So we all know that if we're seeing 29, it means 10% and 20%, 30%, 40%, etc. And so what there is for disabled veterans is called the Homestead Disabled Veterans Exemption. And it is where you get 100% of your property taxes exempt for the life that you own your mortgage.
Really?
It is a separate form. And what I'm going to go over today is where you need to file these and when you need to file them, as well as getting a hold of your mortgage company and getting your tax payment off of your mortgage payment. So, for example, I was 100% disabled in 2018. So I went back and I took my DD-214. I took my 100% letter from the VA that you can get off your VA app or off the website for all your benefits letters. Took those both to my county tax office. They sat me down and had me fill out a form. It is a homestead exemption form. It is not the typical disabled veteran exemption form. It's a completely different form. It's a completely different category. So don't get confused that you say, hey, I'm going to get my disabled veterans exemption, and they hand you the regular form to get up to $12,000 off. This is a homestead. It is an additional homestead. Your spouse can get it if you pass, and the spouse will keep it as long as they own their home or your home. So you take those two forms, you fill out this homestead exemption. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't want to interrupt you. I was going to ask, I know sometimes with veterans, when they get their 100% with other benefits, that they have to pass from like a service-connected disability for their spouses to get it. Does that have any bearing on that or no?
No. Once they're 100%, whether it's PNT, unemployability, unemployable, I spoke incorrectly right there. It's PNT. They do have a DB4 code for 100% unemployability, but if you are actually 80% or 90%, they'll still only give you the $12,000 exemption. But if you are 100% bar none, just a normal 100% and unemployable and PNT or any of those, you have to be 100% to get this other exemption.
That makes sense.
Thank you for asking that question. Spouses specifically, if you're 100% and after a while it becomes PNT, which is permanent and total, by the way, when you get that, your spouse is also put on your homestead exemption, and it's actually called a DB4 spouse code. So you will see, and I can show you some links or get you out to some property links, but you will be able to see the codes in your tax forms from your county, Comal, Guadalupe, Bear, Travis, etc. You'll be able to see in there the exemptions you're getting. The DB4 code is the key for 100% homestead, and DB4 spouse is for that entitlement if you pass. It still stays on there. Okay. So next thing I would do is once you get there, you fill out the form. It will take them, they'll tell you, it takes anywhere 30 to 45 days for them to take care of it, but they back pay you. So a lot of us go through getting our disabilities claims, take months, sometimes years, right? Well, the tax office will backdate it back 3 years. So if you are, if your claim was open, you closed it in 6 months, but then they took 6 months to take care of it, and then you didn't get everything back into the tax office for another 6 months, they're still going to backdate it to your date of file or date of award. And the date of award is going to be the date of file if they're backdating everything. So you have you can get up to 3 years back on your taxes. This is helpful in knowing that, one, your taxes are going to come back to you. They're not cheap in Texas. Our property taxes are anywhere from $4,500 to $17,000 a year. Oh yeah, there's taxes I've seen $17,000, $18,000, $20,000 a year. It's insane. So if you're getting those back, not only are you getting your back pay from getting to be your increase, right, but you're obviously getting your back from your taxes. And then that county will give you a form to submit to your mortgage or your escrow. You will call your escrow department and you let them know you're sending in a form, and then they should, and you got to keep on them just like the VA, but they should backdate it to the day that you have your escrow for this year.
So they don't keep your escrow every year that the county's going to give you those back taxes, but anything that's in your escrow to pay your taxes for the current year, they're going to send that to you. Okay? Going back to getting with a mortgage and having the company repay you back for your current taxes. What this will do is two things. They'll do an escrow assessment. They'll send you back all of your taxes that you've paid, or all of your escrow payments for your taxes that you've paid to date, as well as they will reduce your mortgage payment by that amount so you don't have that payment anymore. When I went from, I think it was 90 to 100%, I think I got back $2,300 for one of the years, and then my taxes went down, or my mortgage payment went down by almost $500 a month. So your mortgage payment, I mean, that's huge. That's a a car payment, an insurance payment, all kinds of stuff, right? So you're getting money back in your pockets. Not only are you going to be 100%, you're going to stop paying your $500, and you're going to get a little money in your pocket from your back taxes. So that's usually a really nice little setup. Now, that is specific for the 100% disability. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is other little items that you get when you become disabled, specific in categories. So I'm not sure everybody knew, but you get free driver's licenses in the state of Texas if you're 60% disabled or more. You also get the veteran code on it, and it's a real ID. So everybody in the state of Texas, you can show them your driver's license, and it's validated that you are a Texas veteran or a veteran.
Yeah, they put veteran on mine, and they still charged me.
No, you should not be charged. You just need to take your veteran's designation, the same letter, and a proof of your DD-214, and you will not get charged for your driver's license. Now, if you do it online, you'll get charged the $1.50 fee or something like that if you renew. So there's that. And then Texas Veterans Disabled License Plates. Well, license plates in general. So I don't know how many people in Texas know this, and there are several other states that do this as well, but if you are over 50% disabled, you get $3 license plates in the state of Texas. You do not get charged your ad valorem tax. So basically, veterans with a disability over 60%, the state does not like to charge you taxes at all. So your ad valorem tax, which is usually the percentage of the value of your vehicle, it's usually anywhere from $75 to $125 a year, you will no longer get that tax. The $3 is a processing fee. In addition to that, you're authorized specialty plates for free. So you can get your service plate, you can get any specialty plate you want, but specifically a lot of people, we get our Marine, Air Force, etc. I have a women veterans plate. It's a new plate in Texas, and I love it. And so I've had that one, and it gives you, it's also a DV. I do not have my handicap placard on it, handicap symbol on it. I actually have a handicap placard. You can get that placard if you need it or want it, right? That is what also helps you with all of the other parking and state fees that I'm going to talk about. So once you have your driver's license with the veterans logo on it, I'm going to give you two things I recommend everybody have in their phone or with them at all times. There's a copy of your DD-214 and the availability of your 100% or 60% or 50% benefits letter. If you carry those with you at all times, there's going to be places where you're like, oh, wait, I get that access for free. Or I can do this and my family gets access. For example, state parks. So Texas state parks are 100% free if you're, I believe, over a 30% disabled veteran. I know after over 50, because when I got my park license or my park permit, I was over 50%.
And is that all national parks? Is that right?
No, well, what I'm talking about is state parks in Texas.
Oh, okay.
So I'm talking about all of the ships. So USS Independence, USS Texas, Center for the San Jacinto Monument, Big Bend, all of the things that are in Texas, all of the lakes and everything that we have state parks around, those are all, and parking or camping are all free. So you can get into any state park, tour any ship, tour any state item for free if you're over 100%, and it's a life membership. You'll have your card forever.
Wow.
So In addition to that, you're right. I don't necessarily know how much I want to talk about this when I'm here because our national parks are going through some pretty crazy havoc right now. But if you are a disabled veteran over 65 or just disabled, you get a national park pass indefinitely for $1. And the $1 is the processing fee. It's actually completely free. You just get the $1 processing fee. So those are some of the few things that you're getting. Also, in addition, I'm going to shift gears a little bit. So in addition to all of these items, state, county, and municipalities also have a veteran hiring preference. And those veteran hiring preferences are similar to federal hiring preferences, the 5 and 10-point veteran preferences. They still have those. So that's for all veterans. Definitely recognize that it's not just federal, state, local, and municipal do it as well. Excuse me. The next thing we're going to talk about is parking and tolls. So you live in Austin, you know that parking in the airport is expensive. You know that public parking downtown is a premium. You know that it's the same in San Antonio. Like, just all of these things around the state for parking are just nuts. So if you have your DV plates, you don't pay for those parking at all. So there are specific caveats at each airport. They're a little bit different. In San Antonio, it's 10 days, if I remember correctly.
It's 30 days.
You can park. Huh?
I think it's maybe 30 days. It used to be indefinite, but people were storing their antique cars in the parking lot and they changed it. I remember.
Right. So depending on which parking lot you park in depends on how many days you're authorized. So like, if you're parking in the short-term parking lot, you got like 7 days. You're parking in long-term, I think you have 10.
I guess I didn't know you could park in short-term parking. That's news to me even. I'm used to it next week.
There's actually a lot of handicapped parking spots in short-term parking. Don't tell. I honestly, I say don't tell, but I think there's a lot of people that will take quite a bit of advantage of that. But if you're not up to walking the 1.5 miles, basically, and I'm exaggerating, but from the parking lot to the airport, then finding you a handicapped spot in short-term is definitely better for you and safer for you as well. So there's that. Austin actually has a color code. And so like blue veterans can park in there for, I believe, 10 days. In red, they can park in there for 5 days. So whatever their color code of their parking garage is, there's a big sign there. It does not doubt where you can park and for how long. You just have to have your DV plates. If you do not have your handicap placard, you still can't park in handicap parking, but you still use your DV plates and can park in the airport for free.
And that's so helpful too. And I know that there's some areas that I've heard that there's even like public parking buildings. Like there's one specifically near the courthouse downtown where if you have DV plates, you can park. But it's one of those, like you're saying, it's very much related to the city in Texas.
Yep. Any parking garage in San Antonio that says San Antonio City Parking and it's blue and yellow and it has the sign. There's one on Travis. There's one on Commerce. And there's one some other place. I know there's 3 downtown specifically. Those are all free parking for veterans.
You're teaching me stuff today. I only knew about the one.
Yeah, if you look, and it also applies to what is it called? The permits or the coin-operated parking on the street. So if there is coin-operated parking, which I know there is in Austin and a few larger cities, you can take care of it you don't get charged for disabled vet for parking in there as well.
Do you have to do anything specific if you're parking in those? Or is it just they recognize the plate?
No, they should recognize the plate. Yep.
No.
The next one that I have is specific to tolls. Now this one is tricky. And it's the only thing I know is about Texas. I don't know about any other tolls in any other states. But I will say that in the state of Texas, there are about 3 to 4 specific roads where it's either a toll lane or a toll road that you are authorized as a disabled vet or have veteran plates to drive on them for free. But make no mistake, there are several others that are not free, and you will get charged. And it's a pain because they're expensive, and they are not U.S. owned.
I was wondering about this.
So there is one toll road from Fort Worth down into Central Hill Country. I'll go find the number for you and give it to you, but I'm pretty sure it's 170 or something like that. I honestly don't remember the number, but the Fort Worth toll road that goes from Fort Worth down into Stephenville area is not free for veterans, and it is not United States company owned. It is owned by a foreign entity. That is China. The ones that are free is the Katy toll lane on I-10 going through from Katy to Houston.
Okay.
That toll lane is free. The 130 starting at the 45 in Austin and going all the way to Georgetown, that is free. The 130 south of 45 all the way to I-10 is not free.
Yeah, I go on that one a lot.
Yeah.
It got me in Dallas.
Yeah, the 45 loop is free. And then there is a toll road out in East Texas going through Tyler, Texas. That is not free. That is also a non-U.S. owned toll. So I know there's also toll lanes up in Dallas and Fort Worth. I believe, don't quote me on this actually, because I'm the expert. You want to quote me. So I'm not even going to talk about Dallas and Fort Worth today.
We'll come back to it. Don't worry about it. We'll have more information in a future podcast, guys. And if you have questions, please ask.
It too. And anybody can reach to me on that whenever they need to. Let's see. What are some of the other things? So we talked about state parks. Fishing and hunting licenses. Now, veterans, active duty military can get free fishing and hunting licenses, but veterans, disabled veterans, can get lifetime hunting and fishing licenses for free, and I believe it's all veterans actually.
In this state, or is it like all over?
In the state, yeah. Active duty residents and 50% plus disabled veterans or amputees are free for fishing and hunting licenses. So that's a huge gamut. So, and that does not count your tag. So if you're hunting, you still need to pay your deer tag or your hog tag. It's just your hunting license. Your hunting license fee is free.
Well, the tag's usually the more expensive part, but at the end of the day, I'm truly appreciative that they're doing that even. So something I didn't know. I didn't know that they did. I knew that they had offered some parks, but I was not sure about the hunting licenses. That's awesome.
Yep. And so you can go camping at, where is it? I'm out here in Comal County and Guadalupe State Park. You can go, if they're camping units, you can go out there for the day. I know, I'm sorry.
I love that you do that. I want to do it, but I'm like, I don't want to be distracted.
You can get a campsite for a nominal fee, and then if you have your fishing license, depending on whether it's catch and release or catch and tag, you can just spend a whole weekend and pretty much cost you the gas to get there.
That's awesome. And I'll be coming out to Comal County myself here soon. At the end of the month, it looks like.
Awesome. Not so, but awesome. Yeah. So those are the things that I really had to cover today. I know there's a lot to cover, and I wanted to focus specifically on state benefits for taxes and whatnot. I can go over the Hazelwood Act, but I'd like to spend some time on education separately, all on its own, because there's so many nuances and caveats to veterans' benefits from education, veterans' spouses and dependents' education benefits, and so I know we'll do that later. But this is what I have for today. Although, Brandy, if there's any questions you have specifically to how to get your 100% or who to work with, how to read the CFR, because to get these benefits, you have to be a disabled veteran. I am in no means a person that says, go rig the system. That has never been my intent. But all of us have come out of the military with something that was not right, that it was right when we went in. And that's just the way it is. So to get recognized for, even if it's TMJ or tinnitus or ankle sprain or a scar, like these are minimal, but these are things that you need to pay attention to, because TMJ, when you're 25, is not an issue, but when you're 50, it's an issue, right? And so you want to make sure that you have the ability to keep it covered, because you can get massage therapy, and things like that for these things that if they're not covered, they will not help you unless you are over 50%, 60, 70, 80, and then 100% for everything that's covered by the VA. So I had a thought on that one. But any questions?
Actually, I mean, I always will have questions for you, Miss Nikki. But honestly, I absolutely agree with what Nikki is saying. I've said it many times on this podcast that you need to be your own best advocate. And at the end
Absolutely.
of the day, it is very important to have your record looked at. Since the PACT Act passed, there has been many, many new conditions that are now rateable. And I can tell you because I was an aerospace medical technician in the Air Force, and that was my job. And I still do it now. I review all records from all branches because I can do so. And I flag things that they need to take to their VSO or Texas Veterans Commission, or whomever's going to write what it is that they need to write for their new claim or their increase or anything that is they're doing. But you can also have a new claim and an increase at the same time. So understand that if you are still waiting for maybe your tinnitus to come back or your back pain or something along those lines, that it's very important that you're still looking in that record if you have newer conditions, which I can tell you reading records that I've never seen a record that didn't have conditions in it, literally.
Correct.
But
I will add to that really quick, Brandy. We had this conversation, I think, about a month or two ago. Remember that a lot of people don't know that the VA is funded as if every single one of their veterans is 100% disabled and has full benefits for them and their spouses and their families.
interesting.
So
I heard that rumor.
Yeah, they are funded. So don't ever think that you're taking away benefits from somebody else, please. That's
Exactly.
really key. There's a lot of people I've talked to and they say, well, somebody else needs it more. Yes, they do, and they'll get it, but they're not taking yours, and you're not taking theirs. There is a full budget every year for every veteran out there for everything that they may need in care.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. I know I've had friends that were raters and reviewers, and what they would tell me is that they would get bonuses based off their denial rates.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it is your money. Look at it yourself like you would a vehicle and you shipped it overseas. That's what I tell people. Remember when you're getting your vehicle inspected and they're like circling every little ding and thing like that?
Yep.
Your initial enlistment physical was that vehicle inspection. So I guarantee you, you're not going to be the same shiny new car that came off of the truck after a long 2 months across the sea, getting all beat to crap. Like at the end of the day, it's not a realistic expectation. So definitely understand that. I mean, even if you feel that it maybe I don't think I do, heck, ask. You'll be amazed what you find. And I can tell you the difference between 90 to 100% is over $1,000 now. That is easily a rent for somebody. That could be someone's two. Dang, yeah, exactly. It's gone up now. But at the end of the day, like, you're your own best advocate. If you have questions, please ask. Like, if you have questions, I can try to connect you with someone. If you have questions for Nikki, if you want to have further questions on what you've heard today, please follow up with us. We want to hear from you because at the end of the day, we are giving this information for you all.
Absolutely. I agree. Thank you wholeheartedly, Brandy. I love spending some time with you today.
Absolutely. It was an honor to speak with you. I didn't show your slideshow. I wasn't sure which slide it was. I apologize.
Don't worry about that. That's just for notes for me. I used to teach these in lunch and learns either at the companies I worked or with the VFWs. I am a life member of my local VFW. I highly encourage you to be a member of something, whether it be your American Legion or your VFW. It is not the old way anymore. There are not a lot of old guys in there smoking and drinking. It is very different. I love my local VA, or VFW, excuse me. There are 3 around me, so I'm going to encourage everybody because there's veteran service officers within the VA, there's attorneys within the VA, there's doctors, VFW, excuse me, with all of these places, and they are there to help you. They're there to support you, and they help. One of the things that our VFW does is we go help on a monthly basis a rehabilitation of a habitat, basically. So not Habitat for Humanity, but basically if one of our veterans is struggling with a new ramp or needs to redo some walls in their homes or door frames, our VFW is actively looking at grants and things like that to help. So there are things out there, and the VFWs, the American Legions, are places to start.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again for being our guest today, sis, for all the information that you've given. please check the link below to see what it is she's speaking about more in full. So for those of you listening, it's https://www.military.com/benefits/state-veterans-benefits-directory.html. But if you want just the link, we'll have it for you. So please let us know if you have any questions at all. Again, we are our own best advocates, and please reach out. Let us know if you have questions, if you want to hear something, because that is what we do here. We are here to support the veteran community and give that information. And we truly appreciate you coming on today, sis.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sis.
Absolutely.
We'll talk soon.
Yep. And so before we do end today, I did want to wish a very happy birthday to my favorite Rosie, Miss May Cryer. She turns 99 on National Rosie the Riveter Day, which is on the 21st. So happy birthday, Miss May. We love you.
Happy birthday, Miss May. Thank you.
All right. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Take us away, Aurelia.
Hi, I'm Aurelia. Just a reminder, smash like, hit subscribe, and click the bell. Please give me my mommy some hearts. Yay, veterans!